Welcome back, everybody, to our energy talk here on Skype Live in our community for self-healers, energetically sensitives, and empaths. Yeah, a steadily growing community worldwide. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, my name is Jona Bryndis. I'm an energy healer, trainer, and coach for business, relationship, and personal energy management. Yes, and on these weekly energy talks here, we come together to discuss some of these things that we pick up on as energetically sensitives, and gives me an opportunity to reflect on them. Once a month, I do a forecast. You can see this on my YouTube video. And for those of you who want to know more, who want to dive deeper into this, I do an energetic tune-up session every month. The one for February is coming up on the 28th of January. Go check my website. If you would like to be part of this, I give a clearing and a reading for you for how these collective energies, yeah, that's an energetic lingo term, may affect you. It has nothing to do with zodiac or anything blood type or personality type. This is really just those of us who are sensitive to outer energies. And there was someone here in the community posting this morning, asking others if they felt this kind of intensity. I suppose since the weekend, that's something that I can confirm, where those of us who do feel energies can tell by how our bodies respond to it. I wanted to ask you guys how this is maybe showing for you, if you are feeling something like that as well. So last weekend was quite an intense new moon weekend. Yeah, so the lunar cycles do play into our collective energies, as does everything on this planet that has water. And you know, we do have quite a bit of water in our body, in our cells. So yes, our system responds to lunar cycles. That's no longer a woo-woo statement. Anybody, how are you experiencing these sort of, I want to say, intensity building times right now? Maybe you have been feeling a little pressure on your head, difficulties falling asleep, or you feel something like a vibration or tingling all over. Just in general, it's a little disconcerting, perhaps, especially if we don't really know what this is that we are experiencing there. This is also here the purpose for these energy talks. Yeah, for us to come together and actually learn how to talk about these sometimes visceral, sometimes very subtle inner experiences.
Hi, Jona.
Hi.
So I must say that as of Saturday, I feel more energy, and it's a nice energy, because I used to be really down with the very low energy. But also, as you mentioned, tingling, that's what I am experiencing a lot. When I lie down, my body is just one big tingle, and I feel a lot of pressure at the back of my head.
Okay, nice. Thanks, Aneta, for sharing this. Anybody else? Any other sensations or subtle feelings that you're picking up on? Maybe over, I like how you reflected on the shift that occurred here just recently. Yeah, this tiredness that we had, this fatigue, yeah, at the beginning of January, and how this is shifting now. Any other sensations? Aneta was reporting about tingling, more energy, but also pressure in the back of the neck. What else is coming up for you? Maybe emotional shifts. Anybody feeling something like a different kind of predominant emotion? Something that makes you feel differently about yourself and what you're doing. Anybody having bigger thoughts come in? Thoughts about purpose, about meaning, about the future. those would be very typical signs right now that you're picking up on energy. So, Annette, I can confirm this for you. This influx of energy, as we call this, is quite significant. So we're feeling that things are moving a little faster, they're moving forward. We had a little bit of that at the beginning of January, like around the 6th, 7th. But now things are actually moving forward. And that is something that can be good for those of us who have a plan, who have a strategy, who have some kind of idea of where they want to move to. But it can also be quite, well, cause maybe anxiousness in us if we're not quite sure what direction to go. Yeah, if we just feel this impulse, but we're not really sure where this is going. This is a matter of, balancing our masculine and feminine energies. Yeah, to understand that there's this sort of dance, yeah, in our personal manifestation process where we have times where we just sort of, take things in, sometimes also integrate things, or where we just have to give things space, where we just have to allow things to unfold. So this was the first 3 weeks of January. It was very much like that. But then there comes the time where we're actually feeling that we're now asked to do something, where we have to step into action. That's a more masculine energy. And those of us who have a harder time with stepping into their balanced or healthy masculine energies, they can feel this as, something that makes you niggly somehow, frustrated, or, you're looking for blaming something, finding a cause. These are kind of things that would be normal right now if they affect you emotionally. And those of you who have, a clear idea of where they want things to go for themselves, you may actually feel that you have more energy now, that you feel a little more backward, that you feel a little more support. But the overall situation right now, guys, is that there is a lot of stuff going on from the outside. I mentioned this in the forecast for January and the whole year. Yeah, there's these the cycles, if you will, and the time quality that we're in right now is indicating that we're entering a building and correcting phase. So building energy, building up. What could this be in a practical sense? If we look at the world, there is a lot of frustration right now about, continued, the revelation of truth. If we are really getting all the information that we need to understand what is going on in the world, be it climate change, be it the war, be it energy cost, be it inflation, our money, our economy, or be it things in regards to health and the pandemic aspects here of our society and the effects of that. So we're really moving into a different phase with all this now, and we now want to know facts. And about that, there is still, for some of us, not enough clarity to understand where we're standing with this. But for some of others of us who have been feeling things, who have been relying a little more on their feeling and trusted in their inner guidance, it is now the time, I used the word victory lap, it is now the time where you will see a lot of scientists, doctors, and also economists coming forward and saying, well, maybe the way we've handled this here in the last 3 years wasn't really that beneficial for us, even though we were continually told that it was. So there are some things now that are emerging here and that will lead to the collective. And when I talk about the collective, I'm literally talking about every single person on this planet, 8 billion people having certain feelings, certain emotions about things that they have been told. And we can tell that there is no longer there's a level of complicity as we saw in the beginning of the pandemic. There's a lot of protests, a lot of things going on right now where people are speaking up, including, for example, things that you see on Twitter, where people who had been banned, who had been, basically stripped of their voice, getting a voice again. So right now is this time for us to find a voice, to find our voice, and to really step into our lives, I want to say, plan with this, okay? Many of you energetically sensitives and empaths have lived a life in seclusion, or, with, these experiences that have taught you to maybe distrust authorities and so forth. There's something about that, that this is my life's work here. It's to support energetically sensitives, and help them to interpret this better and to, create a more accurate context for what they're experiencing. But there's something about these last 20 years, guys, that you've been going through, where your conclusions, that you have to stay away from people, that you have to stay away from the collective, because you've identified that there is some kind of agenda or bias or mind control going on, where this needs to change now, okay? This is no longer, your individual problem. Yeah, we are now entering a time where you will recognize that, what we would call, like, people who are just normal people are starting to wake up to these things, and they need support. So to give just a little bit hint here is, for those of you who have been living this life of two realities, okay, that you're gonna recognize more and more now why you had to go through this. And I want to remind you not to continue to isolate. The times are changing, guys. They already have changed. Yeah. And what you have experienced, what you have learned about energy management, about, controlling your own body, your own emotions, your thoughts, and your energies is something that will be greatly needed now. So, 10 years ago, I wrote an article called Coming Out of the Woodwork, and I keep repeating this, okay? Yes, it is the time to come out of the woodwork, but obviously we need a lot of discernment for this. So this particular phase that we're in right now here in the end of January is heating up, it's building, and you feel this as tingles, you feel this as maybe your energy vibrating faster. You may also feel this in sort of like a bit of a hyperactivity, if you will, but you're gonna have to ground yourself really well now. So there's an increased need for grounding. And we're going to talk about this here in a moment, what these practical things are that you can do to ground your energy a little more. Why? Because you don't really want your energy to take off. Yeah. So while this may sound cool for some people to have levitation experiences, there is something, that you need to know about this. You still are here in 3D, and it's important that you honor your 3D physical existence and your body along with it. So, basically floating above the ground is not really a way that allows you to manifest, happiness and fulfillment and good relationships. Yes, it's important that we ground. Okay, the grounding is not some woo-woo concept. Grounding is an extremely important, process, kind of like with electricity, it's very similar. Yeah, you need to have the other pole. You need to feel that in order for you to stay calm and to stay balanced within yourself. Yeah, we're going to go through some grounding experiences here, but there's more to this. Okay, so more grounding is needed right now. So if these experiences that you feel in your body, if they are disconcerting for you, or if they make you nervous, okay, then I just recognize that there are, things that you can do as a self-healer, to balance this out. The other side of this is that with this increased energy that we are experiencing, with this forward movement, we need to be very careful about whom we're choosing to go forward with. Yeah, this has a lot to do with our relationships. This theme will go on here till May this year. Yeah, these first 4 months are all about relationships, and not just romantic relationships, any kind of relationship, anything, anybody that we relate to, which includes obviously people and places at work, friendship, hobbies, and so forth, family as well, but also the job itself, also, the place itself where you live. So you have until the beginning of May to really test this. Yeah, this is a time for testing if that which you have committed to is for you, if it is actually leading you forward or helping you to grow. That is my energy tip for you here. Understanding those energies a little better, and also, going back into reflecting on your own integrity. What are the companies that I'm working with? What are the products that I buy? What are the people that I associate with? A lot of the continued 2023 will be about integrity, and we will all look back to this time and reflect whether we were fully conscious in what we have committed to or what we have complied with or conformed with. So that's my tip here for the long run, just dealing with 2023 energies, because we are in the midst of one of the biggest transformations that we could, or at least from what we know of, that we can witness here. And there's a reason why we're here. And there's a reason why you're energetically sensitive, because that's a technology that is built into all of us, that we just never really learned how to use. And you are now, through these collective energies and you feeling them, why are we feeling them more now than, let's say, 10 years ago or 100 years ago? Because we got more people. So collective energies always form through the amount of people coming together, aligning themselves to a specific thought or emotion or activity for that matter, or opinion for that matter. And so, yes, we are feeling the impact more, and this forces us to deal with this ability inside ourselves to navigate energies, to learn how to direct them, also ideally, to use them for self-healing, not just for, healing maybe discomfort or things that challenge you personally, but also physical conditions, also the economic conditions, also, diseases. So this is what we can look forward to here, also as part of this truth revealing phase in this next year or two, namely this really big sort of discovery how our mindset, how our energy management actually influences reality. So there's obviously a lot more that could be said about this. I don't want to bore you with this. Obviously, I am an energy trainer or energy healer, and I coach people on how to do this. So I have tons of programs and so forth that can pick you up, basically no matter where you're at. But the main point is that I want you to know that this is nothing, this is a new technology, a human technology, something that we basically are the pioneers of discovering. We discovered it through trial and error, but in future, this will be something that will become mainstream, guys. So you're feeling this now. Don't get distracted by it. Don't take it personally. Don't let it trigger your wounds. Okay, so from my perspective, this time until March is very emotional. You're going to have to deal with a lot of stuff coming forward. And this has to do with relationships. Brace yourself, ground yourself, learn to stay calm, learn to breathe, learn to center yourself so that you are able to see, see as in perceiving that it's not all personal. It's not all just you, guys. So if you're feeling a little depressed, if you're feeling a little anxious right now, understand that that's a normal response of your body to, these intensities that are there in the collective. Even if you're not watching news, okay? Watching news obviously pulls your emotions in and can also, manipulate your thoughts. But it is the overall energy. It's you walking down the street, going to the grocery store, or, even just thinking about collective issues. Okay, those are all situations where you will pick up on collective stuff, and it will kind of weave into your personal views. So it is not all personal, but it can affect you personally. And that's where we as individuals come in as self-healers. Yeah, so each and every one of us needs to keep their side of the fence clean. The more clutter we have in us energetically, the more susceptible we are, and the lower our etheric immune system, our energetic immune system. Yeah, so coming back to the grounding, how can we ground ourselves? So there are some very simple ways to ground yourself, and we all do them without realizing that we're doing them. One of which would be eating something, especially protein-rich foods, okay, eating something, but also root vegetables. So for those of you who are not into animal proteins, you can use, all the goodies that come out of the earth. They're very, very grounding. It's a good time for soups. Yeah, so foods that help to ground. Yeah, those are ways for you to, stabilize your energy system a little more here, to anchor it a little more in 3D, without going too heavy on things, without going overboard with it. Also, what can help you to ground your system is, and you may find this surprising, but is a piece of chocolate or something that just kind of spikes your neurotransmitters and your metabolic functions. Yeah, so it basically forces your system to respond in the physical, and that can lead to you sort of losing this sort of floaty or a bit heady kind of state. Yeah, obviously there's lots of energetic things that you can do to ground yourself. The simplest one in my book is to take off your shoes, to wiggle your toes, to touch the ground. If you can go outside, dig your feet into the earth, dig your hands into the earth, connect with the earth on whichever level is comfortable for you. If you're an energy worker and you understand, the energetic power of this Gaia energy, okay, you can go deeper, you can connect with the heart of Gaia and do meditations, on this sort of divine soul of, here of this Mother Earth, okay? You can obviously also do things that help you to just simply connect with nature, to just be here. Yeah, those are always very effective. But, if you're asking me, and I talk to people all day long, every day, from all different kinds of walks and with all different kinds of challenges, the best way for you to ground yourself is actually to take a moment of your day, yeah, even if it's just 5 minutes, okay, to like literally just, stand or sit on your chair. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need any kind of, meditation pose or whatever, and do very, very, conscious, deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, where you allow your belly to extend and where you allow yourself to feel yourself. This is an extremely effective way of grounding yourself. And then you can do combinations, you can meditate, you can visualize your energy going deep into the earth. You can, work with grounding foods. You can drink a little more water. Water also helps to ground yourself, but it is not as effective for grounding as food. Okay, for those of you who, for whom it kind of translates into more of an anxious kind of feel, yeah, like this niggly nervous type of feel, for you guys, drinking water is essential. Now, drinking water is essential for all of us. Yeah, if you want a good energy flow, you need to be well hydrated. For your metabolism to work well, your hormones, neurotransmitters to work well, you need to be hydrated. Okay, so I'm not gonna educate you on that anymore. This is a given. Okay, this is common sense. But for those of you who are on this sort of anxious and nervous side of things, yeah, when you feel your nervous system responding, for you, this combination of grounding yourself, breathing, and I'm going to talk about centering a little bit as well, but drinking water, yeah. If you believe it or not, but anxiety, yeah. So the clinical diagnosis of anxiety is linked to dehydration, chronic dehydration. And chronic dehydration can occur for many reasons. You know, for example, if you drink too much coffee or black tea, yeah, or sugared beverages. So if you drink things that you think is fluid and is good for you, but you don't really know that they're actually diuretic, they actually force your kidneys to flush out water, then you basically creating a negative water balance in you. Yeah, you're forcing your body to flush out water. That can lead to dehydration, and if you do this as a lifestyle, chronic dehydration over time. So really pay attention to this. I'm not a big fan of electrolyte and fancy waters. Really a good water filter, yeah. Obviously, you know, spring water, but you know, filtered water is neutral, is very slightly on the alkaline side of things, should suffice. Yeah, 2 to 3 liters, depending on how much you weigh, how much you exercise. Yeah, you really want to go to the bathroom on a regular basis, like every 2-3 hours, you know, and that tells you that you're well hydrated. So that, you know, all these things that can get stuck in you, that can get clogged up, yeah, that they just through this motion that occurs, yeah, this dynamic that occurs in your own body of flushing things out, you know, get flushed out along with it. Yeah, it's a mild form of detoxing. Obviously, there's a lot of other ways how you can support your body. There's some videos here on my YouTube channel where I talk about high vibrational diets and stuff like that. But I don't want you to get too heady about this. I just want you to know right now is a time where you have to kind of rethink and review things, whether or not they help you grow. Yeah, and anything that doesn't help you grow, anything that keeps you in a state of coping, that keeps you in a state of, you know, holding on, is basically counterproductive for you. So if you want to move forward, you know, spend some time with your own energy management, with your own regulation of your body, emotions, mind, also your spiritual stuff that comes in from time to time. And if you have access to it, you know, your energies, your etheric body, you know, that needs all these things just like our physical body. And there are tons of videos on my YouTube channel where you can look this up. We have a community here called the Sacred Self-Healing Community. We do daily online meditations. We do workshops every month. We have daily meditation workbooks and whole programs around this on all different kinds of levels of energetic awareness. So remember, yeah, we're entering a correction phase, which means you are going to be more responsible for your own reactions. Yeah, this is about finding your voice and stepping into self-responsibility. It's not a bad thing, guys. Yeah, it's a good thing, because there is a lot more freedom in you knowing how to regulate yourself, yeah, without being dependent on others or meds or, you know, substances or the weather, for that matter. Any questions, any remarks, or anything that you would like to inquire about this particular time quality here, what it does to energetically sensitives and empaths? Okay, then let's wrap this up, guys. Yeah, check my website for ongoing programs and ongoing sessions that work with these collective energies. As I said, the next one coming up is the energetic tune-up for February. I only do this once a month, and then we have the monthly special. We call this marathons. It's 72 hours, 3 days, with 9 energy sessions. This month, we're going to be working on connecting with our hearts. for real. Okay, so one of those big ones that gives us difficulties sometimes. Thank you so much. Share those videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there's a lot of, things that come up on YouTube that I don't send out in email. And also maybe your email, my email list. See you guys latest next Wednesday for another energy talk. Stay conscious.